7 a.m. The switch dropped. The body reacted instantly. 7:01 a.m. Blood began running down the white shirt. No courtroom, no arguments, just electricity. And witnesses frozen in shock. That morning, Alan Lee Davis sat in Florida's electric chair. Seconds later, something inside the chamber looked terribly wrong. Let's begin. The final 24 hours of Alan Lee Davis. Light snapped on. Fluorescent light burned. Concrete corridor breathing. Death row waking. Night held its breath. Inside a narrow cell at Florida State Prison, a man opened his eyes. Alan Lee Davis stared upward. Gray ceiling waiting, cracked paint lines. Nothing ever moved. Same ceiling watching, same heavy mornings. But not today. Today was different. The final night. Tomorrow disappeared. Time felt faster. No slow crawling. Relentless ticking now. Then he moved. Slow shifting weight. The narrow bed complained. The thin mattress sagged. The metal frame groaned. Bolts strained loudly. 350 pounds. The mattress flattened. Springs cried softly. The bed trembled. 6 feet tall, broad prison shoulders. The tiny bunk looked overwhelmed. Guards called him Tiny. Cruel prison nickname. But this morning, that name lingered. Heavy. Final. Unavoidable. A strange truth. He didn't know. History waited quietly. Within 24 hours, Alan Lee Davis would become Florida's final man to die in the electric chair. He lay awake, concrete walls pressed, memories crept closer. The house, screams echoed, fear returned, poverty pressed, abuse lingered, relatives hurt him, darkness shaped him, pain stayed heavy, childhood fractured, something fractured early, not suddenly, slowly, repeated damage, reinforced over the years, until empathy stopped forming correctly. May 11th, 1982. Jacksonville streets rested in silence. Quiet neighborhoods, empty sidewalks, children laughing somewhere far off. Doors left unlocked because fear had no place here. Inside one home, the Weilers lived their ordinary life. Nancy, a mother. Christina, 9, full of light. Catherine, 5, still learning the world. And another life, not yet born. It should have been safe. Across the city, a man walked free. Parole unlocked the door. Freedom placed in his hands. But Alan Lee Davis chose something else. Darkness, no rush, no panic. A plan is forming in silence, steps mapped out, timing controlled. That house selected, watched, understood. Entry came quietly, a door eased open, no forced sound, no warning. Inside, stillness. Christina first, a small figure, unaware. An arm lifts, a gun aligns, distance, minimal. 2 flashes, close range. Sound tears through the room. Her body drops, motion, gone. Then, movement. Nancy turns, confusion, then fear. Too late. A strike lands, heavy, sudden. A blunt object rises and falls, again and again and again. Each blow harder than the last. Bone cracks, skin splits, 20 impacts. Her face, no longer a face. Recognition erased. Catherine runs, small feet slamming against the floor. Breathing is breaking into sharp gasps. Panic drove her forward, but distance closes fast. A shadow behind her, steps gaining. A turn, too late to matter. A movement behind her, closing fast. The gun, already raised. No space left, no escape left. A trigger breaks. The shot, point blank. Sound crushing the air. Impact instant. Bone gives way. Her body cut mid-motion. Momentum gone. She hits the ground. Then silence, thick, pressing in. No footsteps, no breath, just stillness. 3 lives ended. 4, a presence, unseen, unheard. A life, forming in silence, never given a name, gone before it began. Count it, or don't. It still ended. When investigators arrived, the air felt wrong, too still, too heavy. They stepped inside and stopped. Even seasoned detectives stared. Not a crime. At something far worse, pure brutality, the kind that lingers. Prosecutors didn't hesitate. The case moved fast. Fingerprints placed him inside. Ballistics matched the weapon. Witness timelines closed in. His movements accounted for. There was no gap left to hide in. The name surfaced quickly. Alan Lee Davis. 3 death sentences followed. Davis disappeared behind prison walls. Years passed, appeals filed, arguments made. Lawyers tried to reopen doors already sealed. But the system had decided. Courts stood firm. And in the end, even the Supreme Court of the United States turned away. No intervention, no escape. Just the weight of what was done, echoing far beyond that quiet Jacksonville street. Every appeal failed. Every petition was denied. Clemency refused. No delay granted. 16 years had passed. 16 years silent. 16 years still. Nothing remained. Only time moving. Slow, heavy, certain. The countdown began. Memories slowed. The past faded. Metal suddenly scraped. A tray arrived. The guard waited. His last meal arrived. Exactly as requested. Lobster tail, fried shrimp, fried clams, fried potatoes, half a loaf of garlic bread, a large root beer. Davis sat alone. Some refused food. Some broke down. Some whispered prayers. Davis did none. He simply ate. Quietly. When he finished, the tray disappeared. The slot closed again, but something had changed. The prison felt quieter, like it already knew what was coming. He leaned back against the wall. The silence shifted. Not empty anymore. Heavier now. Waiting. Outside, footsteps slowed along the corridor. Guards spoke in shorter sentences. No jokes, no small talk, no eye contact. They had changed. More distant, more precise. Already preparing. They knew, they always knew. Time moved differently now. Not hours, not minutes. Just direction. Forward, closer. Somewhere in the building, papers were being signed. Witnesses were being seated, procedures confirmed. The system aligns itself. Everything is narrowing toward a single moment. Inside the cell, he didn't move. No pacing, no resistance. Hands resting heavy against his legs. Thoughts unclear. Not panic, not peace. Something in between. Guards entered. Keys rattled briefly. The steel door opened. The chamber waited. Walls gleamed sterile. Concrete floors are cold. Harsh fluorescent glare. The chair stood. Black leather straps. Inside Florida State Prison, a different rhythm began. Steel bolts glinting. Electrodes polished bright. Technicians entered quietly, equipment checked twice, cables coiled neatly, switches clicked softly, rows of chairs, glass panels cleaned. Silent, tense faces. Guards moved slowly, uniformed, alert, still, eyes fixed forward. A small window showed the corridor. Light is split thinly. Everything smelled faintly of disinfectant and metal. Cold, clinical air. Time felt slower. The world paused, movements precise. At the center, the chair waited. Heavy oak frame, thick leather straps, copper electrodes gleaming. Its name lingered. Old Sparky. For decades, Florida trusted it. Quick, mechanical, deadly. Witnesses already seated. Officials reviewed procedures. Journalists watched in silence. Behind thick glass, victims' families waited. No movement, no conversation. The room settled into stillness. Davis stepped forward. Slow, heavy steps. Guards beside him asked for last words. He stayed silent. Nothing came back. Only cold silence. Room held its breath. Eyes fixed forward. Lips never moved. No final words. The chamber waited. Air unmoving. Oak darkened years. Leather straps hanging. Copper is waiting patiently. The chair remembered. Hundreds before him. Davis lowered slowly. The wood creaked. A deep sound. Guards moved quickly. Chest strap tightened. Arms pulled downward. Legs locked firmly. Leather biting skin. Body trapped. No movement left. A damp sponge pressed gently. Metal cap lowered. Copper electrode fixed. Another wire is attached to the leg. The circuit closed. Everything prepared. A black hood dropped slowly. His face vanished. The man disappeared. Only the body remained. Witnesses leaned forward. Breaths held tight. The chamber froze. Seconds stretched long. The executioner waited. Hand near switch. Eyes on signal. Silence deepened. Then the nod came. The switch dropped. Power exploded. Step 1, 1500 volts. 10 amperes surge. Circuit complete. The current struck instantly. 8 seconds passed. The chair shuddered. Leather strained hard. Oak frame creaked. Alan Lee Davis jerked violently. Body slammed backwards. Straps stretched tight. Witnesses leaned forward. Under the hood, his hidden face began twisting, muscles pulling hard. Skin is tightening sharply. Observers described a color change. Deep purple. Current is still roaring, electric force surging, body rigidly pinned. 8 seconds ended. Power suddenly stopped. The room waited, only seconds. Then the power returned. Step 2. 600 volts, lower intensity, longer duration, 22 seconds. Electricity flowed continuously. The circuit remained alive. The body remained rigid. Leather restraints creaked, chair vibrating slightly. Air turns metallic. Witnesses stared quietly. Then something appeared. A thin line, red color. Blood is forming slowly beneath the hood. At first small, then spreading wider. The blood emerged from his nose. Gravity pulls downward. It touched leather, the thick strap across his mouth. The blood followed the strap. Slow, deliberate, unstoppable. Slow movement downward, then reaching fabric. White prison shirt, the color spreading, red soaking cloth. Witnesses shifted uneasily. Some leaned closer, others stiffened silently. Electricity continued flowing. 22 seconds, body still restrained, current is still moving, the blood kept running. Then finally, power changed again. Step 3. 1500 volts, full force returned, another surge, 8 final seconds. The chair jolted again, leather pulled tighter. The body is forced backwards, electric current roaring. The circuit is complete, muscles locking hard, frame straining visibly. Witnesses froze still. 8 seconds passed. Then suddenly, the current ended. Switch released. Total electrical time, 38 seconds. Silence filled everything. No machine noise, no electrical hum, only breathing witnesses. But something moved. The body shifted. Small motion, unexpected motion. Observers watched closely. The chest lifted, once, then lowered. Another rise, another fall. Someone started counting. Quiet at first, then others followed. 2, 3, 4. Breathing continued. Slow movement repeating. 5, 6, 7. The chamber remained quiet. 8, 9. Nearly 10 breaths after the electricity stopped, gradually slowing down, movement weakening, chest lifting is smaller, then smaller, finally stopping. Stillness returning, No movement left. Several moments passed. Then the door opened. Medical staff entered, quiet footsteps approaching. They examined him, checking pulse carefully, listening for breath, seconds stretching long. Finally, at 7:15 a.m., the words came. Pronounced dead. Alan Lee Davis was gone. The last electrocution, a final story, and the echoes would never fade. His acts were horrific, clear for all to see. But does this form of execution deliver true justice? Or does it cross a line that cannot be uncrossed? What do you think? Was Alan Lee Davis shaped by the darkness he carried, or by the world that ended him this way? Let's talk in the comments, and hit subscribe for more stories like this.